Why do independent women can't keep a man? Like, share this video if it's your first time being here. So this is a question that was brought to my attention. Why does it seem like independent women have a hard time trying to keep a man around? If you really think about it, they've taken the word independent and they've prostituted the word. They've turned it into something else, something that don't have anything to do with independence at all. So independence is really a state of mind. Just because you're independent, that doesn't mean you don't need other people or you don't need anything. Anyone that says or thinks that they don't need anybody is delusional. They need to seek some type of help. Something has happened to them. They're broken. They've been, something has happened to them to even be thinking that way. That you never need a man, you never need a woman. You've been put here on this planet. You came through your parents to reproduce. That's it. That's your only purpose. You weren't put here to buy stuff and to travel and to eat and to sleep and to go to work and make money. You weren't put here for that. You put here for one thing and one thing only. And you have a lot of women out here can't even do that one thing. We reproduce. They can't even do that. You know. So look, it is no man in his right mind is going to be around a woman that's so-called, quote, quote, independent. But these women, for them, it's all about the job. It's all about it's all about that paycheck she got coming in every 2 weeks. That's what it's really all about. It's all about the job. I don't need no man for nothing. I'm independent. I pay my own bills. There's no man in his right mind going to stay around a woman that's like that. Even if he gets with a woman that's like that, he's going to be looking for a replacement. He's going to be looking to get up out of there because she's very combative. He's coming from work, going home, and it's another battle. So he got the battle out in the street, and he got a battle at home too. There's no man in his right mind gonna put up with nothing like that. A sucker, if you a sucker, yeah, you put up with it. Because you feel like you can't do no better. And the thing is, that same woman, when she goes to work, she's very submissive. Oh yeah, man. She's on her P's and Q's at the job, boy. Woo. She's calling the boss by the name at the job. So by the time she come home, you get the leftovers. She go to work, she's suited and booted from head to toe with the perfume and everything on. But when it's time for her to get dressed, for you and her to go somewhere, can't do it. If she do it, it's the lackluster effort, And if you say, hey, how come you put so much effort in at the job, but when it comes to us at the house, it seems like there's not much energy or much effort behind it. Oh, I'm doing my job. So I'm getting paid. So you a hoe. You're a prostitute. That's what it sounds like. Cause you put a tag on, you put a stamp on why you should behave a certain type of way. Because you get a paycheck. So you're a prostitute. And I've had conversations with women about this. And they'll justify why they do what they do with the job versus not doing what they should be doing at home. Every time. They'll come up with something. You know. That's the insanity that a lot of these women, you know, it doesn't make any sense. It basically is destroying your family. Because no one is going to want to be around you. The kid's going to grow up, they're going to be gone. The man you got, he going to be gone. The only reason he's still there, if he can hang on, is because he's waiting until the kids get old enough so he can get up out of there. You know, because when them kids get grown, he's gone. He's just trying to hold on. You know, he's trying to do everything in his as humanly possible not to knock your head off. Because see, there's a thing called respect. See, us guys, we know what time it is when it comes to this. When us guys see each other, men see each other, we have a certain level of respect towards each other because when we go at it, we go to war. We tear shit up, you know. But see, women don't understand that. Women will say and do almost anything to a man, and in her mind, she doesn't think that guy's supposed to respond. He's just supposed to take it. But see, us men, we know better than that. See, we understand this. Women don't understand that. You know, women think they can say and do anything, and they'll just call somebody else for backup, call somebody else for help if you get out of line or whatever. You know, if you do that to a guy, it ain't over. You're gonna need security 24/7, 7 days a week around the clock. So see, if you act like a man, you get treated like a man. That's how that works. Just because you don't look like a man, that don't mean you won't get treated like a man if you come off like a man. That's how the real world works. So those types of women repel men. Guys don't want to be around a woman that's like that. We don't care about your job. We don't care about how much money you make. The best thing a woman can do is be submissive around a man. And it don't even have to be her husband or boyfriend. It can be somebody that she's close to. What that does, that you can get more out of a man if you're submissive. If you're a masculine woman, if you're in your masculine frame most of the time, you're gonna get the beta dudes. I mean, if you're in your masculine frame most of the time as a woman, and if you come in contact with a masculine man, y'all gonna bump heads. Somebody's gonna have to get up out of there. You see, I have enough sense to know that whenever I run into a masculine woman, it happens from time to time, I already know I'm gonna have to get up out of here because this ain't gonna work. Because I know how I am. You ain't gonna talk to me in any type of way. You ain't gonna touch me either. I don't play all of that. I don't play that touching and that disrespect. I'm looking for the exit. Because I know how I am. Because I'm not going to tolerate none of that nonsense. I don't care who you are, man or woman. So this is why I say there's no man in his right mind is going to put up with that nonsense. Put up with the slick talk, these women, most of these independent thinking women, they think they're better than the guy just because she got a job. Just because she make more money than him. Just because she work at the office. Corporate job. Just that in itself is insanity. Because you can lose that job, now what? Who are you? once the job is gone? You're nobody, because that's all you got is a job. I mean, they think it's all about the job. You know, it's insanity. There's no woman in her right mind. You know, most of these women that work these jobs, they just work these jobs. They know what it is. They don't really take it that serious. You know, they ain't trying to break their family up. You know, they'll work these jobs as long as they can, and when it's time to go, it's time to go. But she ain't gonna destroy the family just because she worked at Bank of America. It ain't that serious. But see, money for most women represents freedom. Freedom to do whatever that means to them. It's different for every woman. Freedom to some women is just having, their own place to stay without, family members around, or having a car, just being able to pay their bills without struggling. That's freedom to a lot of women. Because in other countries, they ain't had it like that. Now, there's some women that got it like that in these other countries, but they didn't have it like that. Freedom to some women is just, socially speaking, just dating a bunch of guys and sleeping around, getting ran through. That's freedom to some women. And not being judged based on her activities. That's freedom to a lot of women too. That sounds silly. But I'm telling you, you talk to a lot of women, because I know some women that have actually pulled that off. They done slept around for 10, 15 years, 20 years, and got wifed up and had kids. Some guy wanted to get married to her and everything. Didn't care about anything that happened in her past at all. He didn't judge her, nothing. Now, if that same woman was in, say, South America, or maybe countries in Africa somewhere, it wouldn't have went down like that. Because if she developed a reputation of sleeping around, them guys wouldn't be touching that. Even an older woman in some of these other countries, they're not really touching that. So that's freedom to a lot of women, because they can go 15, 20 years in the streets, and 40-something, early 40s, still get married. That's not happening in places like Japan and China. No, that woman ain't getting no play. So those women come over here, they say, oh, it's freedom. Plus, I can go to work and voice my opinion. They actually want to hear what I think. In these other countries, they don't care what you think. Only person that matters is the one person that's been granted to speak. Everybody else, just sit down and do what you're told. And see, these women come over here, they don't even know how to take that. You ask them a question, they're not used to speaking, so when it comes time for them to speak, they don't really know what to say, because they're not used to speaking. They're not used to talking or expressing themselves about very much of anything. So these same women, they usually get turned out, or, kind of, after a while, they become Americanized. Or abuse their authority, abuse their power. That happens a lot. And that's freedom to them, because they can impose their wrath, the iron fist, so to speak, on somebody else, and that makes them feel good. That's freedom to them. People that do that, believe it or not. And then they can do the dirty work for other people and get brownie points and kiss ass. That's freedom to them, man. So it's like I hope you understand where I'm coming from. Freedom means something different to almost everybody that you ask. That's the point I'm trying to make. You might see it as immoral, okay, but they don't see it as immoral. They see it as just how the situation was brought to my attention, and this is what I'm doing. It ain't got nothing to do with no morals from their point of view. Well, so it means something different to everybody. But at the end of the day, it ain't got nothing to do with independence. Nothing at all. It don't have nothing to do with independence. As a matter of fact, if you're the type that feel like you don't need anybody or need help from anybody, that's a sign of weakness. If you don't want to ask help from anybody, that's a sign of weakness. Because you should ask for help if you need help. Really, but we've been trained the opposite. If you ask for help, especially if you need help, that's a form of weakness. No, the opposite is true, really, because you can't do everything. You don't know everything. You're not going to know everything. You're not going to go into every situation knowing everything. The only person that's, borderline insane would even say or think that, hey, I don't need anybody. Just because you can pay your bills or just because you got a job, And these same people, they usually get their wake up call, especially in these economic times, because they're not working. Some people got laid off. Some people their job just got terminated. And when they lost their jobs, or when they wasn't working as much as they were used to, a lot of these people panicked because that's all they had was a job. And now that they don't have that job, and they don't really have any friends or anybody they can reach out to, because no one wanted to be around them. They were too, talking crazy. Nobody want to be around nobody that's like that. No one wants to be friends with anybody like that. Because most of these people, these independent way of thinking people, tend to be very controlling, very manipulative, very abrasive, and they're not fun to be around. No one wants to be around anybody like that, male or female. So most of these people don't really have any friends, and the people that are around them, they're not really friends with them. They're around them just to get something out of them. And once that need is done, they're gone. They're not really friends with these people. Now, they might think they have friends, but in these economic times, as it stands today, they get their wake-up call. They really see who their friends are, because your friends are usually the people that, especially in these days and times, that you talk to, or maybe you might see, because it's getting to a point now that if some people don't trust you or they don't know you, they don't want to be around you now. That's where it's coming down to. This is what I've been seeing over the past 12 months now. People, if they don't really know you or trust you, they don't even want to be around you. They don't even want to talk to you. So a lot of these people that I'm talking about, they usually get their wake-up call real quick. And a lot of them I've seen have kind of made a switch. They started to change how they operate, how they go about doing things, which they should, So just keep in mind that, no man in his right mind would be around a woman that thinks she's better than him, that's combative and aggressive, that he has to battle with when he come home from work. Instead of being nurturing, She's trying to one up the dude. No man wants to be. No man wants to be a part of that, man. You know, and I mean, it's crazy. So that's the reason behind it, man. That's why a lot of these women are single. They repel guys. A lot of these women can't stand guys. They want a guy to do what they want him to do. You know, and if the guy doesn't do it what she want him to do, she don't want to be involved with him. Now, that same woman would say something like, "Well, how come, if you ask her, hey, how come you won't be submissive, right, to the guy at home?" She's like, "Well, I don't have a reason to be submissive." And then I'd be like, "Well, how come you don't try? How come you haven't tried to get with the guy that you should be submissive to?" And she'll be like, "Well, I don't know this and that." And I'd be like, "You know why? Because that guy that you should be submissive to, he ain't trying to get with you. He doesn't want you. That's why you stuck with that guy at the house. Because the guy that's making more money than you, that's much more successful than you, he ain't trying to hear none of that nonsense. That's the reason why. She can't get those guys that's making more money than her, that's doing bigger and better things than her. She's getting what she's getting because of who she is." Like, share the video, check out my Love Can't Wait podcast on iTunes, or just Google Love Can't Wait podcast on Google. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.